back again, day 5. Now, as you guys can tell by the title, is the fear of failing. I'm not on track. I have a lot of fears of failing. Like, to be honest, on a lot of things. Starting a YouTube channel, uploading a song. This series, actually, I feel like there might be a chance of me failing to upload every day. There might be a chance of me failing to actually teach you guys in a good way and manner on how, to start from nothing and get to at least a better position where I'm at, basically. So I feel like it's all about fear and excuses, if that makes sense. And I'm not going to tell you everything everybody said that, guys, just, we shouldn't be scared, just go do it. In fact, let me tell you first on a lot of things that I've been scared about in the past and opportunities that I missed out. So let's start, for starters, when I was younger. I would just say my experience talking to females, women in school. That's the best place to have conversation, to try out, multiple conversations, talk to people, talk to this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person. I'll tell you, I wasn't the only one in a wheelchair at my school, at least. There's at least 1 other, 2 other, maximum, something like that. Sometimes it's maximum 3 other. All right. And it wasn't, I've noticed there was a difference between me versus maybe one of the other ones that were in a similar situation in a wheelchair. And they seemed to have more friends. It seemed to be more likable by others, if that makes sense. I used to say, oh, that guy doesn't have the same problem like I do. He doesn't have, or she doesn't have somebody in the way. They were raised differently. I made excuses. And I'm pretty sure that's the main problem that we're going to see a lot in this series. Excuses and fear, which is why I put this one early on in the series. So I feel like because of my fear of talking, just talking, you would think that should be easy. No one should be scared of talking. My fear of talking to people cost me possibly a couple of friendships, experience on conversating, possibly even raising up a girl. Who knows, right? The opportunities and things that I missed out is endless just because I was scared. Can you believe that? There's a lot of things that right now that I haven't taken or done because I'm scared. And I would say a good way to deal with it isn't just straight up forgetting about it. It's more so understanding why you're scared of it. And once you understand why you're scared of it, you're most likely come to the realization that there is no need to be scared of whatever you're scared of. I'm sure there's reasons. You might say, I could fail on doing whatever you're planning on doing. You could fail on doing whatever you're planning on doing. But that isn't a valid reason to not do it. Just because you're scared of failing doesn't mean you should go do it. Imagine if all we did was win and never lost. You would only know what it feels like to win. I would decide to take a loss. And I'll tell you, in life, you don't only win. Of course, there's always ways that you can perceive it as a win. Some people could say their parents dying is a win. Sadly enough, some people do. Other people see it as a loss. They lost somebody they cared about. Some people just say, I'm sad that I lost my parent. It's a big loss. But now it's a win because I don't have to deal with their nagging. Some people say that. I wouldn't personally say that. I think that's far disrespectful for someone that's been there day one. But that's besides the point. The point that I'm trying to give here is perception. So, with what I just said. 1, understanding why we're scared and realizing there is no reason to be scared. No reason to be scared of failing. Because I feel like a lot of times when you fail, you're able to analyze why you failed. For example, someone that's always gets number 1 in school in a race, maybe they're just talented and they always win. They most likely win every race, every competition. They don't know exactly why, they just know they do. So they get inflated. Their mind becomes, and say, you know what, I'll win the next one. I'll win the next one. And like I said, life isn't always about winning. There's losses as well. So the moment that person takes a L, they're not going to understand why. In fact, it might be the end of their life right then and there. Of how devastating the loss was, no comprehension on why the loss happened. They fall. They ruin their lives over not understanding what it's like to take a loss and why they lost. Versus somebody that loses over and over and over again, learn from those losses. Understand why they lost. You lose once, you just say, how'd that happen? You lose again, you say, okay, because from what happened last time, I didn't implement it this time. The next time around, I'll be sure to implement it. The 4th time around, you lose a different way. Not the same way as before, because now you're winning from that. and then so on and so forth until you realize there's no more ways you can lose. Not even death can make you lose. Because at that point, you realize there is nothing to lose, only to gain. See what I'm saying? And you just say, I've gained so much through all that losses. What do you mean death does not have any loss? Tell me. Depending whether you believe in religion or not. Once your life is done here, you're done here on earth. I know that sounds scary to some of you guys. Occasionally, sometimes to me as well. Sadly enough, it's still scary to me. But that doesn't mean I should always be scared of it. Because that doesn't mean you lost. I'll tell you, the best people in the world die. The worst people in this world die as well. Just the way how it is. So we're going to see it like that. You gain so much by all those losses. Or if you never lost and you gain so much. And you die. Or it's over. You're retired. No one can take that away from you. No one can take away the experience of going through that. Nobody can take away the feeling of you being able to win and learn from your previous losses and mistakes. Nobody can take that away. Even if you get a lobotomy, bro. They don't have that. They don't get to keep it. Some of you guys might argue, yeah, that's not true because some scientist died, studied something, and documented it, killed them, and now the government has their papers, their studies, their research, and there you go. Now they have the same knowledge he does. And guess who has it now? Not the one that died, not the one who worked hard for it. Sure, we can think like that. But 99% of us isn't going to be like that. I'll tell you that for sure. And the one that actually did that, I'll tell you, that person did not lose as well. Whatever mission they were planning to do, maybe they didn't achieve it. But guess what? What they wanted to find out, they found out. And the journey to finding out, they had it. They had that epiphany of figuring out the solution to their problem. Bada bing, bada boom. So why are we scared of losing? If I'm scared of losing this race or Mr. Beast challenge, I'm not going to get that $1 million. I can't retire my family. I can't do this. Bro, ain't no way you're planning the only way to retire your family was Mr. Beast competition. Ain't no way, bro. I know life might seem impossible, hard, but you see, every example that I've given you guys so far, it doesn't make sense to be scared of loss. It's not even the loss. I think I'm taking this the wrong way. The fear of failure, which is completely different from loss. So let me backtrack a little bit. But I feel like it's still good for this video. Failing. What does it mean to fail? The opposite of winning? Or is that winning? That's the losing, some people might say. So failing, the opposite of failing, maybe achieving? You should say. Thinking about this in my head right now. Probably should do research on this. But don't take what I'm saying as I'm just babbling and just something honest. And I believe this is a lot of you guys gotta see. Is at the end of the day, see, I'm not scared to fail. Some of you guys might be like, yeah, this guy's yapping trash. Garbage. I'll tell you what, the ones that I did with all this bad are listening to me right now. And they're probably most likely going to be in a better position than the ones who just straight up dipped. Just being honest. I'm just saying, you know. So, if we fail, let's say something amazing. I fail being content creator. This boot camp fails. The music fails. Why am I scared? Why should I be scared of failing? You know what that means? One of two things. I get to figure out what I've been doing was wrong and restart all over again and do it faster, better. Like shadestaken flops and fails. You think that's the end of me? Sucker, I could come back and get faster and stronger with a different name. Doing something similar or completely different. Most likely different because clearly the first time I did it, I failed. Did you think I'm going to be a dummy to do it again? The same way I did it before? Heck no. So why should I be scared of failing? It doesn't make no sense. So, that's what I want you guys to do for today's homework. It's write down some of the achievement that you would like. Right next to it, what would happen if you fail? What would you do if you failed that? If you failed to retire your parents? You failed to learn how to make music. You failed the boot camp. What are you going to do? Right? And with that, you're going to realize there's no reason to be scared. If I fail to retire my parents, I no longer need to retire them because they're gone. As crazy as that sounds, realistically speaking, yeah, it's sad, it sucks, but now it's no longer something that I have to worry about. You see what I'm saying? If I fail to make music and become famous in music, two things, right? I can think about a new strategy. Try that out. If I fail that, I know those two first things I tried out didn't work. Try something else. And if I failed so many times and I realize, you know what? Maybe music not for me. I move on to something else. And lo and behold, I'm in a 10 times, 100 times better position than I would have been with music. Would I be mad? No, definitely not, my friend. I would be more exactly excited of my success. And I would say, you know what? I'm glad I feel that music. Because I can't imagine if I had some sort of success in music, that probably would have been, who knows, maybe a different outcome. And I wouldn't have reached the height that I am now. You see what I'm saying? I could give unlimited examples. Type in what you guys are worried of failing, and I could give you guys reasons why you guys shouldn't be scared of failing. So, like I said, that should be your homework. Write down some achievements, and then right next to it, write down what you do if you didn't achieve it. And then with that, there should be no more fear of failing. That's simple. So, I know with this video, it's a little bit short, and I don't want to waste a lot of you guys' time with the boot camp, and I don't want to extend it just because, just to make the video long. I'd rather just get straight to the point, say what needs to be said, and get you guys going on, actually locking in. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, what we're going to do is talk about room treatment. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about room treatment, basically what to do if your room is not, how would you say it, good for music. Because some of you guys might have crazy echo in your room. You might have loud noises. You guys might have noticed that if you did your homework and tested out when you were recording or set up how to record in FL Studio, you might have heard a little bit of noise, whether that's you moving in a chair or clicking of the mouse, or you have an air conditioner right next to you, or somebody was talking down the next room and you heard it still through your mic. I'm going to show you guys what to do on how to fix that, starting off with the room, and what to do if you can't do nothing with the room, how to get a good, decent, clean take for music recording. So with that being said, there's no limits to what you can do. Lock in, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.